Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsy69. Welcome back to the channel. Now today we are going to do a video which we normally do at least twice a year, just to see what the changes are. So today we are going to look at the current top 5 most played tanks in the game. Yes, the top 5 most played tanks. And at number 5, it is the grill. Now, over the last 90 days, there has been 1.1 million, just over 1.1 million battles played in this tank. Now, again, this is over the last 90 days. So, yeah, I can see why, to be honest. The grill is a fantastic tank. I love the grill. A lot of people not so keen on the grill, but they like the waffle in the tier 9 version. Now, usually the waffle is way above the grill. Like every single time I make this video, the Waffenträger is way above the grill. But lately, more and more people have been playing the grill. Now, I'm not sure if that is because maybe the camouflage that it's now got a really good camouflage, not one of a kind. There's now a couple with the Borzik, etc. But yeah, it has now definitely made the tank look fantastic. And because they've made this kind of camo, Wargaming now need to make more. They need to make more of this kind of camo for other tanks other than the grill line. But yet, number 5, it is the one and only grill. Coming in at number 4, it is the T57 Heavy at 1.2, just over 1.2 million battles played in the last 90 days. Now, again, it's always been a popular autoloader. It really has. The T57 Heavy it's a great tank. It really is. Now, of course, you've got this horrible camouflage that you can buy with the tank, or you do have the other legendary camouflage with the tank, which I personally prefer. I prefer the other legendary camouflage to this weird camouflage. But yeah, there's a lot of autoloaders in tier 10 now, and I'm hoping tomorrow we will be talking about auto loaders in general. So stay tuned and make sure you subscribe to the channel. It will help me out massively, and it costs you absolutely nothing. We're over 65,000 subscribers now. We want to get to 70. Ultimately, we want to get to 69,000 subscribers. So get subscribing, guys, please. So yeah, the T57, fantastic tank with the intro clip, the reload, and of course the shell reload boost as well. You can get it sort of 1.7 seconds intro clip, which is really nice when you're going to do around 400 alpha, sometimes even more. If you can get to the paper tanks and you can get the HE out, you can up your DPM, or you can up your alpha for the 3 shots. So just over 3 seconds you can do like almost 500, almost 1500. I would say about 13 to 1400 if you can get the HE damage out. But overall, it is still a very nice tank. A lot of people compare it with the AMX 50B. I personally don't, because they are completely different tanks. One is more of a medium and one is more of a heavy tank, and this one is more of a heavy tank. Now, the turret is nothing fantastic. I'm not gonna lie, it is nothing fantastic, but you can still get them troll bounces, and people will shoot you and they think they'll be able to penetrate you, because it does look like your turret can be penetrated quite easily, and then all of a sudden you bounce or you block the shot. So yeah, the armor profile overall is not too bad. The DPM for an autoloader is not too bad, and it's just a fun tank to play. It really is. So that is number 4. Coming in at number 3, of course, is the Sheridan at 1.4, just over 1.4 million battles played in the last 90 days. This is still a very popular light tank across the community. To be honest, I didn't personally think that this tank would be up there. Yes, it's a fun tank. Yes, it is a popular tank. You always see one around, but I just think that there are other light tanks out there now. Yes, none of them have this kind of alpha, especially when you're looking at tier 10. And overall, it is a fantastic tank. Very, very troll. The armor, you've got no armor really. You've got a lot of spaced armor. Excuse me. You've got a lot of space armor, or spaced armor, but it's frustrating when you come up against a Sheridan. You shoot its side with AP or APCR, the side of the tank where there's literally no armor, and you still manage to get the bounce. Now the speed is very, very nice. DPM of course isn't nice, but yeah, it's got that high alpha, so you can really bully those tanks, just like we're going to do here. I mean, this IS-7 for some reason doesn't want to look behind, so I'm just getting some free damage into this guy. I'm pumping up that damage. Nobody's looking at me. I managed to get out of danger very, very quickly, and as you can see at the beginning of the game, I had to relocate. There was a lot of tanks around that area, and I thought if I would have stayed where I was, I would have just been torn apart. So I did the right thing, and when you are in a tank like the Sheridan, you can get out of trouble very, very quickly. And if you do get in trouble, yes, you don't have DPM, you don't have fantastic DPM, but you've got a gun that could do over 500 damage per shot. Just like that. That shot there on the side of me, and I'll get a bounce. Like, I would be so annoyed. Like, it is so annoying when you're the enemy team doing that. But yeah, it's a very, very fun tank to play. It's obviously still popular. I just didn't think it would be as popular as the tank still is. I thought, you know, a lot of less people were going to be playing the tank, but clearly not. It is number 3, the 3rd most played tank currently in the game, and so far we've had 3 out of 3 for tier 10. Are they going to be different tiers? Are we going to see any tier 8s or even tier 9s or maybe tier 7s? But coming in at number 2 is this tank right here. It is the TVP at 1.553, so just over 1.5 million battles over the last 90 days. And yeah, I can understand that this is a popular tank. It always has been, but yeah, I definitely didn't think this was going to be up there at number 2. It is an auto loader with 4 shells, doesn't have any armor whatsoever. The DPM is really, really poor for what it is. Well, the DPM is really, really poor, but yeah, along the community, across the community, it is still a very, very popular tank that people still love to play. Now, again, over the next few days, I will be making an updated TVP video, so stay tuned for that. It's a damage, I mean, it's a damage farmer. It really is. You need to farm damage with this thing. You need to pick your targets out wisely. You got to remember, you've got 4 shots. You're doing just over 300 damage per shot. You can inflict a lot of damage into the enemy if you get given the opportunity to. So here we are playing it a bit risky. We are at the front. It's not a frontline tank, especially if there's mediums, heavy tanks, tank destroyers all around you. And don't expect any bounces, because unless you're lucky, if you're hull down, you can actually get bounces on the turret. If you're coming up against mediums or tier 9s, you can actually get a red turret, believe it or not. But it is a very, very fun tank to play. You can perform well in it. I mean, I'm getting lucky here. They didn't focus me, they focused the tanks behind. So right now, I'm just going to ignore the Kranwagen and try to deal with the E100. So I've got 3 shells left, 2 shells left, 1 there, and I should be able to get my final shell. Unfortunately, I don't take him out, and I am going to end up dying. But I think we've done a pretty good job, to be honest, before I died. Now that brings me to, of course, number 1. The most played tank in Blitz right now is the Death Star at 2.3.5 million battles in the last 90 days. Am I surprised with this? No, I am not, because it's always been a popular tank. It's always going to be a popular tank. Just because it's a popular tank, it doesn't make it a fantastic tank. It is still a hit and miss tank. You can still have fun in the tank, obviously, because of the alpha, but that alpha is the only reason people want to play this tank, because of that alpha. So that's all this tank has got. It's got alpha and it's got Hesh. What more can you want? But again, it is one of those tanks, like I said in my video a couple of weeks ago, it is one of those tanks, you go out there, you either do 5 or 6 or 7,000 damage, or you go out there and you do absolutely nothing. You got to remember, you always have to try to use that HE, because that is where you will up your DPM and you will inflict a lot of damage, almost 1600 damage if you get a nice roll with that HE. So no, I'm not surprised that this tank is in the top 5. I was actually expecting this to be the most played tank, and it is by a long shot. So let me know which tanks you thought was going to be in this list and what tanks you thought wasn't going to be in this list from the tanks that are. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm Meadsy, and I'll catch you all soon. Bye bye.